Welcome to the Wellness Podcast, a podcast that focuses on health, information, and your general well-being. Remember, right choices, healthy lifestyle. Now, your host, Nurse Sarah Shobola. Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Wellness Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so I will continue with the series we are doing, which is women's health. The topic for this episode is menstrual hygiene management. And joining me on the show to discuss about menstrual hygiene management is registered midwife Aminu Khadijat. She's going to be discussing about menstrual hygiene management, the types of sanitary product that we can use, everything that you need to know about menstrual hygiene. She's going to be discussing about it on the show. Nurse Aminu on the show. Hi, Nurse Aminu. So, concerning menstrual hygiene management, can you tell us more about that?
Menstrual hygiene management is an important aspect of women's life, everybody, because at a point during your reproductive age, you have to menstruate, and everybody has to have adequate knowledge of menstrual hygiene. So simply, menstrual hygiene management means every woman having access to good menstrual hygiene products and privacy to change them when necessary. So it's not enough to have a menstrual hygiene product like maybe alone. There is also need to have a privacy because we can't actually change our pad outside.
Okay.
So privacy to dispose them too is part of it. Okay. Privacy, dispose them. Then the menstrual hygiene products more absorbable. So the key points in menstrual hygiene management are menstrual hygiene products that is absorbable, a privacy to change them, and privacy to dispose them. So that's what menstrual hygiene management means. If any of these items are missing, that means it is not hygiene.
Wow.
So menstrual hygiene management simply means every woman having access to good quality menstrual hygiene products that is absorbable, a privacy to change them, and also privacy to dispose them. So that's what menstrual hygiene management is. And it's a challenge for women, especially those in developing country and those community, hard to reach community, that they don't have access to good quality menstrual hygiene products. They tend to use different things in their community just to take the menstrual products. Like they just tend to use anything, which is not ideal. Instead of getting any materials, like just in some area they actually use dirty clothes or anything or tissue paper.
That's true.
To get their menstrual blood, which is not hygienic.
Concerning the product that they need to use whenever they are menstruating, so I would ask this question: what are the types of absorbent that women can use whenever we are menstruating? You know, we have different types.
Okay, there are actually several materials that we can use. Disposable menstrual hygiene products. There are reusable menstrual hygiene products. That's just the general classification of it. So under the disposable and the reusable menstrual hygiene products. So under the disposable menstrual hygiene products, that's where we have our disposable sanitary pads, tampons, menstrual cups.
Okay.
And I think menstrual cups are actually reusable. But
yes,
in our country, here in this part of the world, in Nigeria, we don't really have access lots of luxuries of all these menstrual hygiene products. The one we actually have access to is the disposable one, like this disposable sanitary pad, as in the Always, Lady Care, and like. One of the challenges we face with disposable is the financial implication, because of the financial implications, some of us don't tend to change it ideally, like as we ought to, because ideally we are supposed to use, I think the company said, for maximum of 8 hours, right?
Oh yes, that's true.
For most of us still use 1 or 2 pads per day, and we have 24 hours in a day, meaning we are exceeding even the prescribed the manufacturer's prescribed time. But ideally we're supposed to change whether soak or no, we are supposed to change for within 4 to 6 hours.
That's true.
We're supposed to change our menstrual
4 to
pad
6 hours and not 6 to 8 hours again.
No, especially when it has to do with reusable ones.
Okay, reusable. Okay.
especially when it's but even reusable or not reusable, we are meant to, because just imagine we're covering that place is somehow closed and closed. You're putting on pints and all that, and there are bloods coming out. Blood is actually a good medium for microorganisms to strike.
Yeah, that's true.
So by the time and most of us, we don't even change our pint. This menstrual hygiene level is just so poor. And it has to do with financial implication, because if I don't have another money to call another pad, I may not want to change the previous one I'm putting, regardless of the hour. So that's about the disposable menstrual hygiene product. One of the challenges is financial implication. Another one is privacy to change them. If you're actually in a bus or outside, most of the toilets that we have outside doesn't really have this privacy for us to change our pads. And it actually blocked the water closet system, so it shouldn't be flushed.
Okay.
So some of us will just like, if I should remove this part, where am I going to dispose it? You actually need a black nylon, to put it that privacy to see before you be able to disclose it. So that's one of the challenges. Some people may not want to change their part just because they are outside their home and all that. Aside the money, the privacy to post the material also. That's one of the challenges of disposable menstrual hygiene product. Then another thing is availability. Disposable menstrual hygiene product is actually not available in some remote areas, some hard to reach areas. Excluding the money, if they have money, they may not have access to the company or someone actually purchase it. Those are the challenges of disposable menstrual hygiene product. Okay. Then the reusable menstrual hygiene product, it is actually made with closed material that can actually absorb blood. That's what the reusable menstrual hygiene products are made of. But the truth about it is that we can actually make our own reusable pads with the accessible materials within our locality, like with clothes material, but it just has to be a neat clothes material. Okay. We can make our reusable. That's one of the advantages of reusable menstrual hygiene product. Another thing is that reusable menstrual hygiene product can be like for a minimum of 1 year. We can use wash, and reuse. Okay. That's why it's called reusable menstrual hygiene product.
Okay, so you just mentioned something down that we can make the reusable pad ourselves, and then let's assume that in a community, people there, the women, they've made the reusable menstrual pad themselves. How will you advise them in the care, how to wash, how to care for it in the process of washing, drying, and then reusing it?
That's one of the challenges of reusable menstrual hygiene product, because I just want you to get something that whether reusable or not, or disposable, anybody that is dirty is dirty.
That's right.
Do you understand? So because one of the question is that how are you not won't it cause infection and all that? So I used to say that if anybody is dirty, you're dirty, because managing reusable sanitary products, reusable menstrual hygiene products is just as simple as washing our pints. That's how easy. So the step in washing them is this. If let's presume that we actually make our menstrual hygiene products with ourselves. Okay. What are the materials we need? We need something that is absorbable. Okay. A cloth that is absorbable. That's just the only thing we need. And we need a firm cloth so that when we are putting it on, it has to be firm. Okay. Just cloth alone. Is it just cloth that we need? Yeah, depends on what you have in your community, in locality, what's accessible to you. But what we need is actually something that can absorb. Okay. So if you have a cloth material that can absorb, fine. But the one I make, I actually use cotton flannel. The cotton flannel actually absorb. But in a kind of community where they don't have that, they can use a cloth. Just has to be a cloth that is absorbable and has to be neat cloth, new cloth, not rag. What they mostly use is their rag, but it has to be new cloth and it has to be dedicated for the purpose. Okay. So after use, you can wash it immediately, or if we are somehow busy, we can soak it and wash later. So these are the steps, 2 ways of washing them. Okay. The first one, if you want to wash immediately after use. Okay. If you have access to running water, remove it, place on the tap and place under the running water. When we place under the running water, the bloods will automatically come out of it. Okay. just place it under running water until the blood are like all the bloods are out. Then you get a soap and water, soap and wash as your normal clothes or fine. Then after wash, you dry. The sun is like the sterilization. It's like a sterilization. That's what kills the germ or anything that is there. Then after drying, pack back and save in a place that is like the water will not have access to.
Okay.
That's just the process.
Okay, so let's assume that you said after washing and then you dry it, right?
Yes.
What if it's raining? How will they dry?
If it's raining, you have to get it out of the sun, out from outside, and keep it inside. When it stops, you dry back.
Okay, and that's just all. Just when after use, you wash and then you can use it again when it's dry, right? So they don't need to maybe iron it or those sterilization process.
No. Then we can also soak it if you don't have time to wash immediately.
Okay.
Soak in a bucket. By the time you soak for some hours, before you come back, by the time you come back to you see that all the blood will be in the water. Then you just remove the pad, squeeze it and wash. It's as easy as that.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, there's a question I want to ask you. If in reusable and disposable, which one would you advise that we should go for?
Well, it has to be based on our financial status.
Okay.
Even in developed world, like in Canada, US, there are still people that make use of reusable sanitary pad. So as I use reusable sanitary pad and I've used reusable sanitary pad and I've used disposable. It just depends on our financial status. And we can also make use of the disposable sanitary pad during the day, and when we are sleeping at night, we tend to have a kind of maybe loss of control of the way we place the pad at night, and mostly maybe our beddings are soaked and all that. We can actually use the reusable at night. Then when you are going out, I use both. So it depends on our financial status and the hygiene level. So that does it.
Okay, so the reusable pad now, when they want to use it, are they to sew it to the shape of pad, or they can just place on their palm?
Yes, you can sew it to the shape of a pad. Or one of the challenges of sewing to the shape of pad is if you actually dry it outside, people will know that this look like pad. That's just one of the challenges. So because of that, if you know that you are not staying in a place that when you dry it, people outside will not see it, you can just you may not sew it, just get the cloth, and when you want to use it, you put it in a way that it can actually cover your private part. That's all. The one I made, I actually sew it to the shape of the part. So if it's online, once you browse reusable sanitary pad, you see the shape. It's superb, and it's just like the disposable pad.
All right, so that's fine. What are the techniques that we can use in the process of menstrual waste disposal? What are the techniques we can probably absorb? Yeah.
Menstrual waste disposal management, not only within herself, it has to be from the government and everybody, including the men. Everybody have a role to play in adequate menstrual hygiene waste disposal management. Because the way the environment is, it is not favorable for us to dispose our menstrual hygiene products. And that is why in some developed countries, they encourage use of reusable menstrual hygiene products, because it actually reduces the waste they generate. In disposable, in reusable, you are not disposing it.
Yeah.
It just needs wash and dry, you are reusing it. But disposable, if you calculate, an average woman will start menstruating at the age of, let's say, 13 years. And you are menstruating every month, 12 months in a year. And during menstruation, you can use, maybe we have 3 to 5 days. Let's just assume the average person will use 3 days. And you are meant to change at least 3 times a day. So you are generating about 9 parts per month. So 9 times 12, that's the amount of waste you are generating in a year. So calculate times, and you are going to enter menopause like maybe 50. So you are menstruating for like 30 something years. So you know the quantity of waste you are actually generating. So that is why some countries they encourage you to use reusable, at least the waste will reduce, even the money you are spending will reduce. So one of the things that needs to be put in place in managing menstrual waste disposal is the toiletries to be made in such a way that women will have a place to dispose their menstrual hygiene product. Like maybe in public toilet there should be a bin, and there should be a kind of nylon, something that you can use to cover it. If actually you remove something that you can use to cover it, like a privacy before disposing it. Then each and every one of us should also be responsible by keeping it safe. Some people will just drop it anyhow. It's actually irritating to the eye. Even you that remove it may irritate you. Not to talk of someone else seeing your menstrual pad. It's irritating. So everybody have a role to play. Even the father, the mother, the brother, everybody have a role to play. We can assist ourselves. We should try as much as possible to assist girls, especially. Like, you give them a nylon, you just put the pad, then they should dispose it at their wisdom.
So I think everybody have roles to play: government, the waste management department, parents, and every other person anyway.
Including the males, they have a role to play.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now I want to ask you, what are the roles of parents and teachers? Let me just say parents and teachers in the aspect of educating or creating awareness on menstruation and the waste management.
As the parents, teachers, and everybody, as a child, as a female child, once they are getting to, we should just have a kind of age-appropriate menstrual hygiene education. Meaning that if the girl is 5 years, there is a way you talk to her that, okay, at a point in your life, you understand, maybe when you are like 8 to 10 years, you start seeing blood from your private part. You don't need to panic. Run to your parents or your sister, tell them that you're seeing it. It means that you start menstruating, and at this point, you know that your breast will be coming out. You get it should be age appropriate. It should be age appropriate. It's not that you pick a 3-year-old girl and you be telling her that, okay, if you have sex, you get pregnant. No, that is not an age appropriate education. Because menstrual health education somehow related to sexual education, because they start menstruating. It means that they are matured enough to be pregnant.
Okay.
They are ovulating. So if they have sex or anything, something will happen. So both the teachers, the parents should try as much as possible to educate the girls on age-appropriate menstrual hygiene education and sexual education. Then the maids too, they should let them know that because you are a maid doesn't mean that you don't have anything to do with menstruation. Support the girls when you see that, this clothes is stained or something. You don't need to shout. If you cannot provide her the material she needs, you don't need to shame her. You don't need to do anything unlawful to her. Let them know that it is physiological. It is normal for them to, not because girls have started having sex with a man that's having blood in their body. No. So everybody should be involved in menstrual hygiene management education to the girls or to women.
That's true. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so what are the challenges and how to overcome this menstrual hygiene management? Because we have a lot of challenges trying to manage the menstrual waste product. There are a lot of things involved.
Yes, one of the challenges we have is there are a lot of challenges, but I'm going to just be mentioning some of them. Okay. They have religious belief.
Okay.
In some religious belief, in some religions, when a lady is menstruating, it restricts them from some activities they can actually perform. Like in some churches, when you are menstruating, you will not enter church. As a Muslim, if you are menstruating, you will not pray. It actually restricts some people from some activities, whereby people with inadequate knowledge of this perceive it as something else. Like they perceive it as impure. In some places, they perceive dirty, and it is not like that. It is just physiological. There's nothing we can do about it. Another thing is cultural belief. In some culture, they believe that if you are menstruating, you are, they have several beliefs culturally, and then some materials you may not be able to use. Some, if you are menstruating to products, you have to dig it on the floor or something. Some use the clothes or the material or the blood for ritual and all that. That's one of the challenges we have. Another thing is ignorance. It's a very big problem in Nigeria.
Ignorance, what do you mean by that?
Lack of adequate knowledge or insufficient knowledge about menstrual hygiene management. Because one of it is telling you that, okay, you are meant to change. We are meant to change our path within this period. Hey, some people will be like, why will I have to change it when it's not so?
That's true.
And this is the same people that will come back to you and tell you that it's like my blood is black. The blood coming out of my private blood is black. When you ask them, when did you put this back? They say, it's the one I've put his money, and you are reporting black blood by 8 p.m. How do you expect it to look like?
Of course, do you need to be black?
So that's one of the lack of. If you immediately the blood is coming out, it's actually not black. But by the time you keep it there for hours, it will turn black. So that's when they tell you I'm having black this thing and having that. They put that same thing there, and this is the kind of people that is actually bushy. They don't shave their private part and all that. It will itch. There's no way it will not itch.
That's true. So that's even where the awareness and education comes in. Why would a lady be and then you cannot shave in a year? You've not shaved your private part. I don't get.
Exactly. There are people like that they don't get. In short, they actually give problems. They create problems to even the healthcare providers. That's true. Especially the gynecologists, the obstetric nurses, and all that. Because that is actually, let me call it, that's our office. So by the time you can, and we still have this patient confidentiality. We don't want you to feel insecure. We just have to endure. We just have to endure the horrible smell, odor, and this is somebody that have been treating candidiasis, everything for years. They say, the people did not know what they are doing, whereas you are not actually helping this
situation. So concerning, we're going to go back to the challenges that we face. So concerning the shaving, how many times is a woman expected to shave in a?
As a woman or as anybody?
As anybody, both male and female, because we all have private.
You have to shave your private part at least maybe once a week. So let's just assume you have that time. Once in 15 days maximum.
What if you some people are not airy, let me say airy, like when they shave it doesn't grow back on time, like it takes time before it will grow.
That's why you have to shave like 15 days. There's no, even if you are not airy, it will grow in 15 days. It will have grown.
So that's like we are expected to shave twice in a month.
Exactly. Twice in a month. Even if you meet some people, they will tell you that they shave every week. They shave every day, every that. Okay, let's just assume, you don't have that luxury of time. At least, maybe before or after menstruation, please shave. At least we menstruate every month.
Yes.
That during menstruation, you will actually create time for your private part. That's it. Because that time you have to clean those bloods and everything. Please, that time you are doing all those things, please, let's try as much as possible to shave. It's very, very essential.
It is. Okay, so now we can go back to the challenges that we face.
So we talk about the cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, then ignorance, then another thing is poverty. Some people actually knows all this, but the money is not there. They are financially incapacitated.
That's true.
So that's it. And one of the ways we can come out of this empowerment, we should empower ourselves, empower our girls especially. We should train them to be independable. If I cannot get a pad of 500 naira for myself per month, I am not financially capable for myself. That is it.
But what if those children are not working and you start menstruating at least between the age of 15? Some people even start menstruating early, maybe 12. So if their parents are expected to get these things for them?
Yes, that is why I'm saying empowerment.
Empowerment for the parents and then
both parents and the skills, because it's a circle that that turns. Let's assume the parents, I have been empowered, I empower myself, and I have a girl of 8 years or 10 years, I will be able to record the past. In a situation whereby I don't even have a source of income and I'm a mother, 500 naira is something very, very difficult for us to feed in a month. So there's no way I'm going to get the money for the pad. So we should empower. If we empower a girl child, right, she won't have teenage pregnancy. She won't be pregnant before 13 or 18. Or do you understand?
Yes.
If you are not pregnant at that point, by 20 years, 21 years, you should, if you are planning of getting pregnant, at least you should be planning of getting married. And anybody that get married is actually responsible to an extent.
Yes, that's true.
For you to wait to get married, is that you are actually responsible to an extent. So it's presumed that by the time you have a child that is up to the age of menstruation, you financially capable enough to procure for the child. But now, those are the next circle we are talking about. What about the circle that are actually on ground? Those people that they have actually made a mistake, there's nothing they can do. Those are the ones that actually, Nigeria, we have them a lot. Even some of us are just fortunate not to be among them. We are just fortunate not to be among them. So the only thing we can do now is to assist those. If you are financially capable enough to provide for yourself, and you have extra, you can assist those people living in those people less let me say those people living in poverty that they can't afford it. We can get
some the less privilege of
exactly
the low the
head privilege. You can get, if we have a kind of, maybe the government can subsidize the part for them, or some organization they can get the part for them, because they are actually everywhere, not only in Nigeria. Not only in Nigeria. Those set of people should be supported. Meanwhile, as we are supporting them, we should try as much as possible to prevent another cycle, another set of less privileged people from being formed, by trying to empower these ones that we are. There are a lot of vocational trainings and other, at least ordinary making of everybody will actually make their hair. If a girl is able to make his or her hair, she will actually make for someone, and she will be able to get like maybe 100 or 200 naira for her to procure her part. So empowerment will actually go a long way in reducing poverty in the country. Empowerment, especially get child empowerment.
So that's the only way we can overcome these challenges, just to empower.
Exactly. Because if you get child that will actually get pregnant to bring another child. So if the get child that is pregnant, if she's not financially capable enough to care for the offspring, then that offspring will actually join the set again. According to WHO, they said that teenage pregnancy form a vicious cycle of poverty that is too hard to break. And I've been holding that thing, because a girl that is pregnant at 18 years, or let me say at 13 or 15 years, there is probability that the child will also be pregnant before 18 years. Because it's obvious that the girl doesn't really have that financial stability to take care of the child. And aside the financial aspect, the maturity, everything includes for her to train the child is absent. So there's probability the child to be pregnant at that age again. So cycle will just come and poverty continues. So it creates a vicious cycle of poverty that is too hard to break.
That's true.
So empowerment will go a long way to reduce it, and awareness of the consequences of not managing your menstrual cycle, like infection, and infection can go ahead to turn to future infertility later in life and all that. So people should be aware of the consequences of their actions. I think that will go a long way to also increase our knowledge on it.
So what are the health risks that can result from poor menstrual hygiene? You just mentioned infection now.
Okay, yeah. There are actually a lot of things that can come out from not managing menstruation very well. And there are some that is actually actual, and there are some that is because of this that will lead to it. Like the infection, we can just have maybe there are different type of infection, maybe because the everywhere is bushy, or the place is not clean. We may just have a vaginal infection. Before you know, if vaginal infection is not treated, it can go to the urethra and it goes to the bladder. We have bladder infection. Before you know, if not treated, it go up to the kidney, to the nephrons, and the person will start having kidney infection, kidney problems. Or it goes into the uterus, into the uterus, and person started having endometriosis and other. And later in life, when he or she got married, then start battling with infertility. So infection is the actual thing there. If you don't manage your menstruation very well, the infection thing that is actual just going to happen. So now the extent of the infection is what we don't know.
No.
It can take different course. It can go to the urinary system, or it goes to the reproductive system. When it goes to the reproductive system, it will effectually lead. When it goes to the reproductive system, it will lead to infertility, and it can also lead to all the sexual infection. Before you know, if the person is actually unfortunate to have multiple partners, and the partner also have multiple partners, that's where the problem comes from. So Infection is actually the main thing. Aside infection, then there are these social effects. When you smell, the person will actually smell stinking, and people will try as much as possible dissociating themselves from that kind of person. So the social challenges, not be able to move with peers and all that. That one will there. Emotionally, the person will also be down, because there are a lot of people. Some people can actually see you are smelling, and the person will just be like, what's smelling? I don't know that smelling is that. So emotionally, you don't even be stable. Physically, somebody that don't have money, now you're having infection. You don't even have the money to treat and all that. So, but the truth about this, they are preventable. Just water. You don't necessarily need soap to wash your vagina.
Yes.
That's when you wash very well. That's all. Your vulva, that's when you can just, maybe the outside part you are washing, you can use your bathing soap to just wash the outside. You don't have anything to do with the vagina. It's self-cleansing. You clean itself. You don't need keeping anything inside. And all these pint liners, all these things they put under the pint, it's not necessary. It is not necessary. Once you clean,
pant liner is just, I don't want to get it wrong. I think pant liner is maybe when you know that you're done menstruating, but then there's possibility that you might get stain, maybe just little of the blood flow. So that's when people use pant liner.
But people don't get it like that. A lot of people use it unnecessarily, like round the clock for how many days in a month? 30 days in a month. 30 days in a month.
Sometimes they deceive them with the pant liner that they say it's well treated, so it treats infection, and then people keep wearing those pant liner thinking it's working.
People need to be well informed about this. I'm aware that a lot of people actually want to sell their products. They won't sell.
That's true.
If you have money, if you want to procure, you can procure this. Don't just pressurize those people that don't have the money. Imagine we are together now and be like, I've been using this partner now for years. It's good. Maybe the price now is 5,000 or 500 naira, and I don't have the money. I may be feeling insecure that I don't have money to procure that. Do you get? And it's not actually adding one significant value to you. If someone has infection, the truth is pint nana will not treat it.
It won't.
It won't treat it. So what are we saying? If you use pint nana and you're still wearing one pint in 3 days, it's still the same thing. Even if you are changing your pint nana every day.
Okay, so what are the menstrual hygiene products that we can get that is easily affordable and accessible for people to get?
There are lots of products outside, depending on, we said disposable and reusable. Okay. Though the reusable is not really accessible in Nigeria. I'm aware of one person selling reusable sanitary pad in Nigeria, and she's in Niger State, and currently she supplies about 13 countries.
Reusable.
So reusable, yeah.
Wow.
The company is in Niger State, in Nigeria. She supplies about 13 countries as at last year. I checked. Is it last year or early this year?
What's the name of the product?
Pad Up Creation.
Pad Up Creation.
The reusable pad itself is Pad Up. So under you have Pad Up Creation there.
So you understand? Is it affordable?
It's actually affordable because the pack is 5 pieces in it, and she said it's about 850 naira, and you can use it for a minimum of a year.
Yeah.
So if you can just get like 2 of it, that's about just 1,700 naira, and using 1,700 naira for a year, I think it's okay. Than buying, let me say, an average pad will be sold at 300 naira, depending on your location, and that 300 naira may just be 8 pieces there, which may not be enough if you actually want to use it adequately. Let's just assume 300 naira. No. So 300 times 12. And that's just the least you can use.
Wow. All right. I would probably check on the Pad Up Creation. I just want to know
Pad Up
Creation.
Yes, to know more about it. But in US, there are a lot of companies selling reusable sanitary pads.
And I don't think I've seen any of their products in Lagos.
No, their products in Lagos? No. But you can actually order. She's based in Niger. The company based in Niger.
So I can because now. I think the pack is 450 to 950. It is.
So it's
a good idea.
But the thing is the awareness. A lot of people don't know about reusable sanitary pads.
That's
A
true.
lot of and it's just typical of Nigeria. We have, I think, at least they use it before, but just that the way they use it, most people they use their rag or something they don't want to use again, and it's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to be a new thing, like
One is even cheaper.
How much is it?
It's cheaper compared to the pad we buy every month, and pad is even
Exactly.
okay. I don't want to start mentioning the product name, but then pad is just expensive, and I think this one is even better if they are more aware about how to manage and care for it, the process of washing and reusing it. I think it's a good idea for us to go into.
Serious. And one of the perception about Nigeria is that they think if you use reusable sanitary pad, you don't have money for disposable, and it's not like that.
That's it. That's the point.
And it's not like that. I actually use reusable, have used reusable, and I can't tell you that I don't have money to buy disposable. That is it. To an extent, I think I'm more than not having money for buying a pad for now. But just for me, I talk to girls, so just for me to encourage them, to let them know that if you use this, doesn't mean that you don't belong. Look at me, I am this, and I'm still using it. So that means you can use it, and I make it myself. And I use it. I think the last outing I had on the Get Child Day, I actually give to some of them.
That's great. Do you make to sell or you make and dash it out?
I made and dash it out.
You don't make to sell.
I can actually make to sell, but I'm working. I have a lot of things.
You
So
can actually start this. I don't think I've seen reusable pad in Lagos. The one you said is in Mina, and then I think maybe you should have your own branch in Lagos then.
I can have, but it has to do with money.
It's so nice. Like, it's not even looking like the old. When you hear reusable pad, you're like, you just put clothes under, and then that's just the end of the story.
I have the pictures on my social media, and you can get it on my Instagram, on my Facebook. You see it there.
Wow.
I've posted when I had the time. I'm actually passionate about girl child education. So if you have a girl, if you have people that you want me to come and teach, actually on the October 11, I actually teach some set of girls on how to make it, and I actually dash them the other ones that I have.
In conclusion, what do you have to say about menstrual hygiene management?
Okay, menstrual hygiene management is everybody's responsibility, regardless of your sexuality. Whether you're a male or you're female, whether you're a mother, you're a father, or you're a sister, or regardless of who you are, menstrual hygiene management is everybody's responsibility. Be responsible enough to support the girl's child in menstrual hygiene management. You can support with anything you have. You can do this by simply buying a pad and giving it out to someone in your community. Someone you know that literally this person may not have the money to afford it. You can just do that. You are supporting it. And if you I actually start this research about reusable menstrual hygiene product because I was thinking of finding a long-lasting solution. That is when I come across menstrual reusable sanitary pad. So everybody should be responsible enough to research more on menstrual hygiene products and look at the way they can assist the girl child in the community on achieving a menstrual hygiene management. Unstressed.
Wow. Yeah, that's just all. Thank you so much for your time. But before you go, I just want you to tell us more about your foundation, I think, and then tell us more about you. We want to know you. Thank you. Okay?
I'm Aminu. I'm a registered midwife. I'm passionate about reproductive health, female reproductive health. I came about Teenagers Guidance and Counseling Foundation because it's like, okay, everybody talk about maternal mortality. What are you doing in your own aspect to reduce it? Is it that we just stay in the hospital? Yes, I work in the hospital, but at the community level, what are we doing? And that's why I come about Teenagers Guidance and Counseling Foundation. What do? We support teenagers, both male and female. But I'm so much passionate about reproductive health. I'm a defender of women's rights, so I advocate for girls when it has to do with their rights and all that. Anything related to women, especially in the reproductive and start justice. So the foundation, we actually counsel girls, we support pregnant teenagers, don't discriminate. We offer family planning services. We offer anything that will protect your reproductive health. And we don't, even if you are pregnant at 8, 10 years, we still support you. until you deliver. But we also plan to empower girls, but we are still incapacitated, because of financial aspect and all that. But then we are still doing our part. We go to secondary schools to educate girls on teenage pregnancy and many other things that actually affect them. At least Lagos State, we are still in Lagos State presently.
Okay.
I've gone to many secondary schools also. So if you have a set of teenagers, and you want someone to come and talk to them, anytime, any day, we are free.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you.
My pleasure to be with you too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If this is your first time of listening, thank you so much for listening. You know what? I need you to do something for me. I need you to share this podcast with your friends, family, even your enemies. Share it with them. And also, I need you to subscribe to this podcast. I just need you to keep listening. Stay tuned to this podcast. I remain your host, Shobola Sarah.